All right.
No, we got a lot of things to talk about right here. I don't want to waste it.
You guys are from Atlanta, yeah?
I'm not. See, that's number one right there.
Jeez, just right off the top. I was actually.
That was my first question.
Okay.
That was my first question. Are you from Atlanta?
Okay.
But we should wait until the cameras are ready. All right. Well,
Interesting.
save it.
So
Save the
this
goods.
is Jesse's doing the interview, right?
Yeah.
He wants to know more about Marino and Andy.
Yeah, wait, hold on.
Any
hold on.
question you want,
Yeah, those
go.
are my questions.
Rapid fire, go.
Are we live? We're live on
This is it.
Facebook right now. We are backstage here at Jingle Jam over at the Roxy. Andy's here,
Hi, hello.
and Jesse McCartney's here.
What's up, fellas? How
How
are
you
you?
doing,
buddy?
Doing well, man. Excited for tonight.
We're glad you're here. And, you know, we were just talking off the camera here that we're New Yorkers.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, we're
Ah,
actually
that's
from
why
New
you were
York.
saving this moment.
I was, because he said, "Are you guys from Atlanta?" And I was like, "Just wait, okay, until we
Ah,
start."
fellow New Yorker. Where
Yeah.
in New York?
So I'm from Poughkeepsie area,
Okay, cool. Yeah, I grew up in Westchester.
and it's just as cold here. That is,
It's actually nicer here. I was in New York last week, and I went to the Giants game. Go
Did you?
Giants.
Oh, so that
They're doing great this season.
Literally, no one in Atlanta is going to care about what we're talking about
And,
unless you find some Yankee fans or some Giants fans.
That's
right now.
it. But it was nice. My girlfriend and I went. It was like 60 degrees. We had our New York Giants sweater on. They were awful, but still, you know.
So for my own peace of mind, is it Yankees Giants or Mets Jets?
Yankees Giants.
Okay, my
yeah.
man right here.
Feel better?
Yankees
I
Giants.
feel a lot better.
Much
Now we
better?
can move
Okay.
on with the
He
interview.
was
Anyway,
worried about that
now we
this
can
whole
move
time.
on.
This whole time, it's always
You
been
are
talking
from
about.
Atlanta?
I'm from Atlanta. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Right.
You have the Atlanta hair swoop.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's like
Is that
that's
what this
that's
is?
like the classic Atlanta. By the way, I
Okay.
used to rock it in New York. I'm just saying.
I mean,
like,
this is like been working on this for tonight.
Mhm.
So like,
you're
this is
crushing
like,
it. It's feathered
I
perfectly.
brew it. It's
Who
like,
cuts your hair?
you know what?
I love it.
My mother.
I love it.
My mom cuts this.
You're
hair.
crushing it, Andy.
Mom, you did good. Jesse
You
McCartney
are
said
crushing
No
so.
it.
idea that was even a thing.
Oh, it's a thing. It's like the feathered swoop. It's like a very classic. Like,
Good job, buddy.
yeah.
Thanks,
Did you go
man.
to Georgia?
I did not. I went
Oh.
to SCAD.
See that I
which
would have
is
nailed
also
it
in
if I
Atlanta.
say, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, you've been making music since what, '99? Way back. When?
Probably.
Yeah. You.
let me do the
count real
math.
quick. You gotta
Yeah,
get a
like
couple
even before
music
that,
toes.
96, 5 maybe.
Okay, and you've been you're a musician obviously, but acting and you're a voiceover actor.
Yeah.
Singer-songwriter.
Yeah.
And I was doing some research on this guy.
Okay.
And back you
Facebook
wrote a song.
stalking
You wrote a
basically is what you're
song
saying.
Yeah.
for Leona Lewis.
It
Didn't you?
did.
With Ryan Tedder.
Yeah, Bleeding Love.
Bleeding Love back in 2000 what? 7, whatever it was, 6.
You're all about timelines.
No,
I'm very
no,
bad at them. I
need
think
to know-
2008. I
want to
say
back
maybe.
this goes because you've done a lot since then.
Yeah, like 2008, and yeah, I have. But that was definitely like a defining moment for me as a writer. Actually, we'll be playing it tonight on stage, but it was a big moment. I mean, it was a song that I wrote for myself. Had no idea that it would end up in the hands of Simon Cowell or Leona Lewis.
Yeah.
But it certainly changed my life.
So is that where it got started for you with music, or is it before that?
Well, I mean, I started at a very young age. I was probably 7 or 8 years old, and I was doing community productions with my family. And both my parents were both musically and theatrically inclined, and they sort of brought me up in the household of like this theatrical musical family. And then by the time I was 9, I was nationally touring on a Broadway tour of The King and I with Haley Mills. And I started in theater, so that was sort of like my foundation. Did a lot of theater on and off Broadway, and then eventually everything sort of snowballed into a music thing. And I was in a short-lived boy band in like the very late '90s, early 2000s called Dream Street.
Okay, you're acting like nobody knows what Dream Street is.
Yeah.
My wife, she was like, "You got to ask him one question, Andy." And I was like, "Okay, what is?" She's like, "Does he still talk to the guys from Dream
Yep.
Street?"
Yep.
You do?
I still talk to a couple of the guys from. I actually saw Matt, who was the other blonde-haired guy.
Okay.
And he and I saw each other at the Super Bowl, the Philly Pats Super Bowl.
Yep.
So you just like coincidentally saw this?
No,
guy?
so I had
Okay.
sort of an inkling he was going to be there because he's a big Philly fan, and then he texted me. He's like, "Hey man, I saw you posted on Instagram. You're here. Power of social media. Let's hang out." So we had a beer after the game. It was great. So I do keep in touch.
Is she satisfied with that answer? More than likely.
Probably.
She
Okay, good.
loves it.
Each of these things that you do, acting and songwriting, they all bring their own challenges, right? What do you like to do? I mean, do you like to still do all these things? I mean,
No, I hate them.
You hate every single
I
one.
hate
This
every
is the
single.
worst.
It's the worst. I
What do you
hate
like doing?
being here.
What do you like doing the most?
No, man, of course,
You're gonna perform tonight.
I don't
but-
think you have I don't think you continue to make music and continue to follow down this path for 20 plus years unless you're absolutely in love
Right.
with this job. And for me, I think music is obviously my very first love, and I do love acting, and I love I love performing, and I do at times miss the stage. theatrically, but for me, writing music and producing music and then performing it for the fans is my very first love. So I still I love it to death, and it never gets old. In my side time though, like I've had a few years off, and I've discovered that I'm an excellent chef.
Oh, okay.
Pretty good. Not excellent. I was like B-, which for me is excellent. And so I'm really good at smoking. I'm very good at barbecue, which is big down here in Atlanta, I know. So I've really gotten into barbecuing. I love to travel. I've discovered a lot of things that I never got to discover because I was working so much about my personal hobbies and about my personal beliefs and things that I love to do, and one of them is cooking.
So when you say cooking, like you have friends over, you have
family
over, you're like the guy that cooks.
I'm the guy. So we did a Friendsgiving. I mean, we usually do a Friendsgiving. This year I was really busy, and it was the first year in like 5 years we didn't do one, but we usually have like 30, 40 people over, and we do I do a big turkey, like smoke a turkey, and then I also smoke like another meat, so like a brisket or a pork butt or something. And it's like overnight smoke, sitting by the grill. Like I'm not actually freezing because it's Southern California, but it looks cool. And then I like have a beer and I'm watching my meat all night. And that is that's sort of my favorite pastime.
We're gonna add cook to the resume here.
Go ahead,
All
write
right.
it down.
And
got it. Yeah.
But music, Wasted is on Star 94.1.
I know.
Now.
Yeah, I'm
So
super excited about that.
Let's talk about the song.
Yeah. So Wasted is the second single off this new release. Better With You is my first single last March. Sort of this first single I released in maybe 4+ years. And Wasted was it was kind of one of those things that accidentally happened. I went into the studio with the same writer, Brandon Burnett, and we went to his apartment. It was a really hot day in Los Angeles. It was like we were going through this huge heat wave, and we went to his apartment. And he's like, "Come on over, we'll write." Go to his apartment. His air conditioning breaks down like an hour into the session. It's like 110 in his apartment. We're like, "Dude, cannot finish. Like, we have to go." He's like, "I got beer in the fridge." So yeah, all right. So we drank a few beers and we wrote a song called Wasted in like a matter of like 2 hours, and it became sort of like we looked at each other, we're like, we should check back in tomorrow, but this feels really good.
Yeah, I thought
one of those moments.
Yeah, alcohol would be involved somewhere along the way.
Yeah,
So
so that sort of was the genesis of the song, and then we started touring it around colleges around the United States, and it was became very clear that the college students loved the song, so all those dry campuses,
Yeah, exactly. And we got the Jingle Jam going on tonight. The holidays are coming up. What do you like to do around Christmas time? Do you like to spend it with family, or what do you?
Yeah, man, I love to spend it with family. I love to do nothing. I love to sit on the couch, have a few drinks, drink some eggnog, pass out by the fire. The quintessential American Christmas. That is definitely sort of what I grew up with. And
you have to rest because you have a tour right now and coming up in 2019, right?
So it's going to be really hard for me to completely relax because I am a little stressed out about this tour. The Resolution tour kicks off January 11th, so right after the holidays.
Oh wow.
So I can't eat too much Christmas ham because I still have to move around on stage. But January 11th kicks off in Dallas, Texas, and we'll be touring around the United States for about 5 weeks.
We're excited to see you tonight. Thank you for coming by.
Thanks, Marino.
And have a great show.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Andy.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you guys.
Facebook
Bye, guys.
Live. See you later.
Ciao.